So today I would like to honor, or should we say, dishonor the Pokemon that made us all seriously reconsider whether we actually wanted to catch them all. Number 10. Garbodor. I don't think a caption is even necessary for this poor soul. Garbodor was first introduced in the 5th generation of Pokemon games, and for many people he directly exemplifies the arguably decline of monster design by the game's creators. He's garbage. I've been over this 100 times, and I just feel like he also needs to be on this list. I mean, he is a very potential candidate, and not only is he or she potentially unearthly hideous, possessing cigarette butts for fingers and pulsating trash as disturbing pigtail buns, Garbodor is also just a bad Pokemon. He is not a bad Pokemon on paper, or as you might say, competitively. Nevertheless, I used him on my own team and I really tried to love him, but he is truly garbage. Sorry Garbodor, I hope the PC deposit box is comfortable. Number 9. Mr. Mime. There's just something about clowns. I know he's a mime, but actually I don't know what he is. Mr. Mime debuted in the first set of Pokemon games and was all the stranger since the only way to acquire him was to trade with an elderly male NPC. I always had a sinking feeling that Mr. Mime wasn't actually a Pokemon, but some misguided human trying to make it in a psychic type's world. He's actually pretty good, but so is Alakazam. In later games, the developers added a baby version of Mr. Mime in a possible attempt to make him cuter. But the idea of having two Mr. Mimes breeding makes me want to go home and forget about what happened at the daycare center. Number 8. Farfetch'd. I know what you're thinking. Hey, I like Farfetch'd. I do too. He makes a very handy HM slave since his stats are useless and he can learn both Cut and Fly. Apparently he's also very delicious. His Pokédex entry reads, Farfetch'd, a wild dog Pokemon. Farfetch'd makes a delicious meal, especially when cooked with leek. Because of this, Farfetch'd is nearly extinct. So apparently the people of Kanto eat Farfetch'd? That's also extra disturbing because there is only one Farfetch'd in the game. Number 7. Stunfisk. Once again. Stunfisk is a flat fish-like Pokemon with a broad mud-brown body. At the base of its yellow tail is a yellow marking shaped like an exclamation mark when seen from behind. Stunfisk is simply unloved due to the fact of the public having a general consent of him looking ugly. Its type combo is quite interesting. Ground and electric. You don't see that every day. However, it does not have an evolution yet. And Stunfisk isn't exactly the Pokemon we want to show off on Wi-Fi, is he? I guess we can all agree that he's not, right? So there's really no appeal other than the type combo, and who are we kidding? That's totally not worth it. Number 6. Zubat. I put Zubat on this list with a heavy heart because I do like Zubats, and his evolutions are pretty cool, to be honest. It's just a shame that the Pokemon games use Zubat as a more of an annoying obstacle than an actual Pokemon that you would want to catch and train. Nearly every cave in Pokemon Red and Blue, not to mention Gold and Silver, is full of Zubats. As you try to get from one town to the next, you'll be confronted by Zubat and its entire extended family. They have no qualms about leeching your life or confusing your Pokemon to the point of insanity. As a player, you will never be too excited to see a Zubat for, I guess, good reasons, optioning to Thundershock it into submission or Spray Repel just to avoid its face. Zubat has been used and, I guess, abused in a way that just makes him very unoriginal and just the most common Pokemon ever that nobody would want to catch because it's not unique in any way, and who would want a Pokemon that isn't unique on their team? You know, we want to have a unique team, right? He is pretty cool and he is pretty good if you give him a chance. All he ever wanted was a friend. Number 5. Woobat. I honestly don't even know where to start with Woobat. It's everything bad about Zubat but with a pig's nose and bad teeth. Or should I say tooth? Honestly, who made this? Woobat is hideous, has completely bogus stats and will only evolve with a high enough friendship. Let's save Woobat the humiliation and simply run away. See you later, Woobat! Number 4. Weezing. What starts off as a happy-go-lucky ball of poisonous gas turns into a pair of conjoined twins who are eternally unhappy. At level 35, Coughing decides to try its hand at asexual budding, and thus Weezing is spawned. Oddly enough, Weezing can learn the move Attract, which immobilizes an enemy Pokemon with the power of love. Of course, I taught this to my very own Weezing. The battle scenario where a female Raticate can't attack Weezing because it's deeply in love is one I recommend not passing up. Number 3. Jinx. Jinx and Mr. Mime share the similar problem of being creepily human. I think it's safe to say that Jinx made every first-time Pokemon player a bit uncomfortable. Let's just leave it at that. I still have nightmares about his lovely kiss. Yuck! Number 2. Unknown. Unknown is a flat, thin Pokemon shaped like an eye with appendages that make it resemble a letter or a punctuation mark. It is entirely black. Almost. I've never actually seen anyone use Unknown regularly as an accepted party Pokemon, which doesn't really surprise me. Its purpose is only being seen and used in local ruins, and in the third Pokemon movie, not to mention in regards to Arceus, which means you rarely encounter this guy. Unless you live inside the movie and the games, which I totally don't doubt. And if you coincidentally do, you either knock it subconscious or run away. Number 1. Loftisk. Loftisk gets the number 1 spot because it attempts to embody love itself but receive absolutely none. It's quite sad actually, because Loftisk is a fish that's shaped like a heart. There's a good chance you've never seen this Pokemon before, and that's because no one likes Loftisk. So congrats Loftisk, you are the most unloved Pokemon of all time.